So we're in The Hague, Netherlands at the SDN and NFV World Congress. I'm here with Sten Nordell from Infinera. Sten, good to see you again.
The same.
So tell us a little bit about the evolution and latest developments with Infinera's Xceed.
All right, the Xceed platform is the Infinera SDN multi-layer platform that we've been developing over the last year. So at this show, actually last year, we launched our first application, which was our layer 1 application. And this year we've actually launched our layer 2 application, Dynamic Bandwidth. And that one also includes all of the MEF LSO APIs, which we actually showed last year as a proof of concept at the SCTE conference, to prove that the layer 2 APIs are applicable in these types of orchestration architectures.
Okay.
And so what we're seeing now is that a lot of our customers are starting to use these APIs for multi-vendor integration into higher order orchestration application.
So Sten, with these developments, what's key to the industry very much is for the operators to be able to deploy multi-vendor capabilities in their networks. Is that something that Xceed enables? And also, can you tell us a little bit about the data modeling capabilities of Xceed?
Yeah, within Xceed we have developed a very stringent way of deploying the data models. They're all about openness, open YANG models, standard models from the industry. They could be IEEE, they could be IETF, they could be TIP, they could be from different parts of the industry, depending on how the data model needs to be implemented.
Okay.
And at the same time, we strive a lot around open APIs. So all of these data models are converted into APIs that can be consumed by other applications. One of those applications could, of course, be an orchestrator, so that you can achieve a multi-vendor implementation where we are one domain or one area of interest of SDN control. And specifically now in the industry, there's a big discussion around how we should deploy the layer 0 data modeling, because that hasn't been developed in the last years as much as the layer 2 and layer 1 has.
So what are the main challenges and pain points that the operators are experiencing at the moment, and how is Infinera helping them to overcome these challenges?
I think there's multi-dimensions on these challenges. One, of course, comes from integration. So you need to have open APIs, and you need to agree on the data models. You also need to agree on the method of APIs, and if they're RPCs or if they are whatever YANG modeling you'd like to do, and what types of APIs you're using. So that's a challenge to define those. And I think the other one is more about who's actually in charge in a domain perspective. So do you build an architecture where you have a layer 1 controller infrastructure, or do you build one for the vendor so that the vendor takes multi-layer capabilities into aspects of his domain, or do you go down the path of saying a regional control level? Because you need to have a hierarchical implementation, not one size fits all here.
Right.
So what we're seeing is that the customers are actually having a little bit of debate here. So from an orchestration level, it's pretty easy. You have one, maybe two orchestrators, but when you're going down into the network layers, you have to make up your mind if you have one for layer 3, one for layer 2, or do you have one for an area of a network. And I don't think that there's not one right answer here.
Right.
But I think that that's a challenge for the customers to figure out how they're going to orchestrate and architect their SDN infrastructure.
Okay, so clearly a lot going on. Infinera seeing changes within the operators and addressing those challenges. So it'll be really interesting as well to catch up again next year and find out how things have developed again further. Sten, thanks very much.